Sometimes the best advice you're ever going to get is going to come from yourself. You just have to listen. And for reference, I'm a loan officer. I help people get mortgages to buy houses and sometimes refinance. This woman calls me up and explains to me that she's going to sell a house for about $1 million and that she's going to buy a house for about $500,000. She goes on to explain to me that she has several $100,000 of equity that she's going to get from the sale, and she's going to put down a bunch of money on the house that she's purchasing. She has good credit, she has good income, and in talking to her, I realize that she's smart, she's educated, I realize she's detail oriented, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a very competent human being, and she's going to do well in this transaction. And I liked her. I actually liked her. So then she goes on to explain to me about the realtor. She explains to me about all her concerns with the realtor. She goes on to explain to me that she can do a bunch of stuff. She's a little concerned about it, but she can do a bunch of stuff to help the realtor stay on track and focused. And that she had dealt with this person in the past and she had had some issues and she thought she would have the same issues again, but this time she was ready to manage the realtor through the process. And I said to her, well, why are you using that realtor? She then goes on to explain that the realtor is somebody she knows and she's going to get a really discounted price from the realtor to do the transaction. I was like, but what you're saying here is that there's going to be issues and you're going to have to do part of the realtor's job. She goes, well, I know I've done this multiple times. I know what to do and I can handle that. I was like, but you're telling yourself that this realtor's not any good. She goes, well, I'm not saying she's not any good. I'm just saying that sometimes you have to stay on top of her. I was like, maybe you should listen to yourself. Maybe you should say, hey, listen, this is not the perfect situation for me because I'm going to have to help manage this realtor. I'm still going to have to pay her a fee. Maybe you should go to a different realtor, somebody that experienced and is competent that you don't have to manage. Maybe you'll have to pay slightly more money and you can negotiate that down. You can do whatever you have to do and do it aggressively. Get your best deal. But if you're moving $1.5 million of real estate and you telling yourself going into the transaction that you're going to have to manage the realtor, but you're willing to do that for a reduced price, maybe you're doing yourself a disservice. Cheap might not be the best option. Maybe a little bit more money and get a high-end professional will give you a much better result in